Hello, Year 8, and welcome to session 3, where I will go over the final instalments of the story, The Last Days of Ojukwu, and go over some questions for you to think about. So, thank you for responding with all your ideas for instalments 1 to 3. I like looking at those, so if you could do the same format for these instalments, that would be good. So I'll go over the questions and you can write your responses, and photos being attached to the my homework platform work nicely. So instalment 4. But the Ojukwu trudged wearily back on with the bright sun over the ridge to the town. His son was due for leave, and he might even be home for the feast. If he did come, how proud Ojukwu would be, for had not the sun god himself honoured him as a brave flyer for the empire, and how smart he would look in his pilot's uniform with his ribbons and medals, and especially the winged star of the Imperial Air Force awarded for extreme courage. Who knows? That plane, which even now he could hear but not see, so high was it, might be bringing home his son, circling above the town, ready to glide home to the airfield in the next valley. And so Ojukwu topped the ridge, walked some yards down towards the city, and sat down by the side of the road, partly to regain his breath, and partly to admire the view. That was the last time Ojukwu saw the city, and the last thing but one he ever did see. So there we have instalment 4. So the questions to think about. So in what country is the story set? So we have some clues now. More clues. So some of you had accurate predictions and guesses from talking about rice paddies before, and now we've got some more information. So what tells us about the country this is set? You might need to do some research. Some of you have done some very nice research already to work things out, and that links into the historical time period. So when is this story set? And what does the last sentence make us feel? So we have almost a structural device here, don't we, from the writer using the last sentences. So what does the last sentence make us feel? So it'd be a good time to pause and unpause when you've got your ideas. So installment 5. For at that instant there arose from within the shining city a light that was not of this world. It was the light of a million suns in one. It was a light such as Ojukwu had never seen, a great green super sun. Its light, which blinded Ojukwu instantly, did not enable him to see that in a fraction of a second it had climbed to a height of several thousand feet, rising ever higher until it reached the clouds, burning earth and sky all around with its dazzling power. Up and up it spread, a great corona of green fire at least a mile across. As it thrust upwards and outwards, it changed colour as it grew, from green to orange, from orange to purple, spreading outwards as it shot upwards and rising as it spread. So there we have instalment 5. Questions to think about. So, what is happening? What do you notice about the language of the description? Try to write down 3 things. Ojukwu thought the plane was bringing his son home. In fact, what was the plane carrying? And the idea of his hope and the reality is ironic. And we talked about the writer using irony in the earlier installments with the idea of the sun clearing up the rain and the miserable weather as a positive, but actually that positive warmth that the sun brings was the reason that Ojukwu left safety and went home back to the town. So there's an irony there. So can you understand, explain the irony of what he thinks and hopes about the plane that he can hear and what actually the plane is bringing? So good time to pause and put down your answers. Unpause when you are ready for the next instalment. So instalment 6. A giant cloud surged from the ground and followed the path of the giant sun. In seconds it grew to a giant pillar. Seconds more, and a great dome bestrode the pillar, transforming it for an instant into an awesome and unearthly mushroom magnified 1,000,000 times. Up and up it pushed through the dazzling clouds, up and out beyond them until it reached a height of 41,000 feet, 4 times higher than the sacred mountain itself, and 2 miles higher than Everest. It was as though the earth and sky had been torn apart by that almighty sun into a great cloud which the cloud possessed as its own domain. And there we have instalment 6. And the questions here again. What is happening? What do you notice about the writer's language in this instalment? Try to note 3 things. So languages might be something about adjectives or verbs, repetition, personification. So pause it now and write down your ideas, and then we have the final installment. But Ojukwu died while the cloud still grew. He shriveled up in the first wave of radiation, he and 100,000 others who died in Hiroshima that day and over many days after. So finally, we get some information, some specifics here at the end. So why does the writer not mention the city's name until the last sentence? What does the writer intend to make us think and feel by this story? Do you think this is a good story? If so, how does the writer make it successful? Try to think of 3 ways it's a good story. So I hope you have enjoyed the story. I am looking forward to reading your responses. So this is the end of session 3, and session 4 I'll go over some answers to these questions, going over some of your ideas, and I'll speak to you then.